PK in the universe. Today I'm here to talk about digital versus physical. This is the Wii U edition of this video. I've made videos about the Wii U, I've made videos about digital versus physical, so I thought let's combine these two things into one thing. So here we go. First off, if you know me, you probably know that I'm a hybrid gamer. I game digitally, I game physically. I think both things have their advantages and disadvantages. I don't think one's superior to the other, in spite of what a lot of hardcore physical or hardcore digital people might think. For example, with physical games, yes, it's great that you can, quote, own your game, but something could also happen to that game. You know, if that game breaks or is destroyed, it's lost in a basement flood, for example, or a fire, guess what? You know, Nintendo or whatever company, they're not giving you a brand new disc. You know, it's like you own it as long as God allows it. I think what a lot of people love about physical games is they have more autonomy over it because they can sell a game, and that is an advantage. They own it in that sense. But digital has a lot of advantages too. For example, if you lose your entire digital collection in a flood or a fire, guess what? I can re-download them a lot of times depending on the system I have chosen. For example, my PS3, I can connect my PS3 to up to 2 different PlayStation 3s. So I could have it all on another hard drive and play it that way. Or with Steam, for example, your games are connected to your Steam account. Or maybe you have them backed up on multiple files. For example, maybe you have like some Windows games and you have backed up on multiple files and you can play it because some games are DRM free. A lot of people love to spread the narrative about how you don't, quote, own your digital games. And it depends on what you mean by digital games. Yes, you don't own games that you got for, like, you know, the Nintendo Switch Online or Game Pass. You are actually legit renting those games. You are, however, not renting games you actually purchase, because if a game can exist on a hard drive and you don't need to connect online to play it, then yes, you own that game. You know why? Because you own that system. And those games are on that system and can be played autonomously from online. Unless, yes, and as long as you don't log on online, there's nothing anyone can do to take those games away from you. What people are trying to say is those games are more vulnerable, which is a correct terminology, not that you're renting the games and you don't really own them. That's just not correct. And it's a narrative I can't stand. I see it all the time online, and it's really annoying. So that's what I wanted to say about that. So that's my stance on digital versus physical. There's certain games I buy physically. There's certain games I buy digitally. It's not a zero-sum game for me, you know what I mean? That sounds weird, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so I want to talk about the Wii U. The Wii U is a great case study in why digital versus physical is an important topic. So here we go. First up, I love buying Wii U games. They're cheap. In fact, a lot of games are cheaper than their Switch counterpart. So you get Switch games, but at a much cheaper price. I love that. But I also like to buy digitally because guess what? Games keep getting delisted from the Wii U eShop. In fact, a whole bunch of games just got delisted, and I thought about making a video about it because I do like to cover delisted video games, but it was nothing like, this is a game that everybody should have bought kind of thing. Yeah, so there's games that you might want to pick up before they get delisted. And because the Wii U, let's be honest, has a problem being that, you know, it was a very unloved system, and there's always talk about when's the Wii U eShop going to close down. Who knows, honestly. Some people have predictions and whatnot. Buying digitally has an advantage in the sense that get those games while you can. Physically, there's a lot of great physical games on the Wii U. The one downside, of course, to physical games on the Wii U is disc rot. It's something a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to the Wii U. Disc rot for the Wii U has been reported as far back as 2017 from what I can see. I've seen Reddit posts about it. Recently I was talking to Coolity, who's a fellow YouTuber, and Simon Stevens was also talking. We were all talking about this on Twitter, and they have all seen disc rot in their own discs. So it's a common problem that not a lot of people talk about because it hasn't quite affected the games the way disc rot has affected older systems like the Sega Saturn and Sega CD. But it is a problem. The thing about Wii U discs is they are a proprietary disc. They are not like a traditional Blu-ray disc. And they're similar, but they're not quite the same. You can't just make your own Wii U games. You have to actually get those discs from Nintendo. And you really can't even make physical games for the Wii U anymore because Nintendo has stopped, you know, distributing those discs to people who want to make physical games for that. there's no way to actually get these discs, and these discs are not quite as fragile as like a Sega Saturn game, but if you dropped one, it could start to deteriorate over time. So these games, it's great to have these physical games, and I love physical games, but you don't actually want to have physical Wii U games to an extent. And my advice and my solution to that problem is you should back up your Wii U games. If you mod your Wii U, guess what? There is a way you can legally use your Wii U to back up your physical games by modding it. So there is a way to preserve them digitally, and you're not breaking any copyright laws or anything like that. It's your game that you can actually back up legally. So there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to owning digital versus physical. It's not simply, oh, this is one version is superior than the other. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the Wii U, and I think the Wii U is a great case study for why digital versus physical is basically a stupid conversation, and we should play and buy what we like. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.